Hey guys, welcome back to the Ride Waxing and UK One Wheel channel. So we've got quite an old school board in. Some 3D technology on this bad boy. This is a Ride Timeless and it's styling some atomic bindings and yeah, it's in need a bit of love. This was going to get serviced in resort and one of my very lovely customers has advised him to get it serviced here in the Ride Waxing workshop, which was very kind of her. And it's a real pleasure to have this in here and to put my love, heart and soul into it. So quickly though, before we start, as we do with all our videos, the setting for this, I would assume front foot, which is obviously a goofy stance on this board, is up here, which is 14 degrees, and this one, which is your back foot, is up here, and that one there is 4 degrees. So very much quite a straight back foot, obviously more of a directional rider than a switch rider, and it is very much more of a directional board. But yeah, absolutely lovely, but it is in need of a bit of love. Black P-Tex. Why don't they use clear? But we're going to tidy this up. We're going to get it looking good. So I'm going to pop you my hand. Let's take a quick look at this ride. So here we are. Look at that 3D technology. Crikey. Really does obviously amplify the side of the board. Obviously a lot thinner top nose. And obviously this would help with strength. No doubt there will be some carbon or fiberglass stringers in here, creating obviously more of a flex in the nose of this board. Some cool kind of like graphics on it. There's a massive sticky pad here, so I can imagine there was once a stomp pad here, but we'll get all this glue removed and tidy that up. Yeah, I've got a little bit just here as well, so we'll try and tidy all this up and clean the top coat up. But bindings all seem good, screws all seem nice and tight. We're going to whip these off though, and another reason for doing this is so I know where to put them back. But let's quickly flip the board over. Let's fold those down. Quickly flip this board over. This is in need of a bit of love. Got some black P-Tex in here. Obviously possibly had some core shots possibly in its time. We've got some P-Tex here which is cracking, so I'm not quite sure. We'll have to possibly, well, I will be digging that out. I'm not just going to lay over the top of that because that is actually flexing. So that will be letting moisture in. And we've got some big scars here and here. And just here. So we've got a lot of detailing work to do. So yeah, this board is in need of some love, I think. The rails themselves aren't in great condition. If I can just kind of zoom in here. There we go. They are needing some love as well. So we're going to be using some clear P-Tex on this board, I think, to try and get this looking ship shape and getting some shine in this blue base coat. I'm trying to really emphasize that word ride. There is obviously quite a ridge just here which we're going to need to flatten out, but yeah, there is some battle scars, so I'm going to have to make this thing worse before making it better. I think possibly this is a core shot, and what they've done is put P-Tex in a core shot, which really you shouldn't do. You should seal the base of the core shot with some base material, which I might have to do. So yeah, interesting. Anyway, let's pop you in the stand. Let's get on with this ride. Sadly, this was my fear. We have quite a deep core shot. Now that crack was there. That's been filled with P-Tex. I didn't even touch it. Literally ran the scraper over it. It flexed and it came out. Now that is not a problem, but it is a problem, if that makes sense. We're going to have to lay some base material in there. And that is, I fear, going to be the same for this. This is also a very deep core shot. And you can see it cracking, and what you don't want to do is get moisture in there. So we're going to have to get the soldering iron out. I'm going to get the base material in, and then we're going to weld in some base material, and then we'll lay the P-Tex over the top, because that should then adhere to this base, the fiberglass that's underneath this base, and away we go. But yeah, that is simply just P-Tex laid in a hole. It does the job, but it's not like the correct fix, should we say. We've got another one just here. That's very, very slim. I can imagine that must be another core shot there. So I'm going to play around with these and have a look. You can see the rails and the work. Yeah, it's definitely seen some rocks as this ride board, but we're going to get on, keep working away, but there's quite a lot of work ahead of us. So here we go. Okay, so back to the core shot. Just putting my razor blade in one of the cracks, you can actually see the actual PTEX itself lifting up, look, and it doesn't really take much. And this is what all the moisture is going to go into, because you can see all the cracks. Just one here, 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 and again, it's just going to open up, which is not what we want. So look at that. So we're going to have to take all this out, very much like we've done here, and expose that base. This is all fiberglass. We're going to have to use some base material and a solder iron and then basically fill this up and then PTEX over the top of it, so at least the base material will stick into here. But the actual base itself is extremely thin, to be honest. Normally they're thicker than that, so I think this has possibly had one or two base sands in its time. But we'll get that looking good. We've got to fill this up and seal this in. That side there is very sealed, to be honest with you, because it's quite narrow, which is good. So we'll just base scrape the board, but we're going to have to sort out these two big core shots. And then we've got one just here as well. Now that is actually stuck quite good, but there's a bit here that's come out. So we need to clean this area up here and solder some base into that one. But yeah, boy, this board has seen some action, man. Quite a lot of work ahead of me. Anyway, let's crack on and get this sorted. So this ride, Timeless, has quite literally been timeless. I have spent so much time on this board. We've taken out that old repair and actually we've laid some of that base material. I think possibly there was some base material in here, but it was just old and it was cracked and obviously moisture would have gone in there. So we've had to dig all that out, put all new stuff in, lay down PTEX, more PTEX, more PTEX, more PTEX, and obviously keep base scraping to make sure this board is super flat. The edges are lovely and sharp. The base is lovely and smooth now. We've gone around and done some other bits and bobs, and the reason for not doing it in clear, because obviously all the other bits in black anyway, and it was in black before. So, but that has taken quite a bit of work, I will say, quite a bit of work to get that sorted. But hopefully that should last for a long, long time. The base of this board is literally very, very thin, and I think that's possibly the reason why it is lifting. It hasn't got a real lip to stick to. I think possibly it's obviously had quite a few base sands in its time. But yeah, just an iconic board, and it's lovely to bring them back so you can keep using them. As I've always said in all my videos, if you can use it until physically you can't use it anymore, well then you know what, you've had your money's worth out of it, and then it's time to upgrade and buy yourself something new. I've got to take the polish off the top coat, that lovely pearlescent top coat. We've got all the glue removed from here and here, but yeah, and then we'll get the bindings put back on and polished up and given back to the customer. So let's put some tunes on, let's get my scraper sharp, and let's take this wax off. So, the before shot, just have a quick look at the base and the dullness of this base, and obviously we repaired that major core shot over to what it looks like after we've waxed and detailed this board. So there we are guys, one ride snowboard. This is taking quite a lot of work. My personal opinion would be, you can see the base is very light in places, and I think the base is getting quite thin. Possibly, if you have any more core shots on this, it's going to go straight through, because obviously the amount of work that's gone into this board over its lifetime, really. Personally, what I would do with this board is, if the gentleman obviously would like to upgrade, then I'd give him some money for this, because I'd use this as a donor board just to practice and train on. I'm looking at getting some dies so I can do perfectly for when we get core shots. I can get perfectly round dies and get some additional base material. But even if I had that with this board, the base material is normally about 1 millimetre to 1.5 millimetres thick. This isn't obviously that thick, so unfortunately it would sit proud. You'd have to sand it back, which is a real shame. But we've rescued it. It is ready to hit the slopes. It's ready to have another good time. And check out the shine. We've got great colour in the base of this board, all the way up from the tip to the tail. We've got great colour. Great reflection off the TV behind me, and it's come up lovely. Really has. It's super smooth, super flat. We've got the direction in there. It's been brushed. We did a lot of work off camera, just purely and simply because you would just get so bored of me going backwards and forwards. But there were some additional gouges and knocks and nicks which we've just filled up. Like I say, we've filled that up with black, not white. We have done some clear in some areas just down here, which is obviously blended in with the word ride. But yeah, just in keeping to how kind of the board has been repaired in the past, really. But the rails are detailed, and I think you'll agree, it's come up lovely. Great colour. Great colour. Real deep shine. Very happy. So guys, that's it. Another board done and rescued in the Ride Right Waxing Workshop. Guys, thanks ever so much indeed for watching. Obviously do hit that like, hit that subscribe, share with your friends, and until next time, we will see you soon.